So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. Happy Friday. How you doing? I'm so happy to have you. Did you have a good week? I hope you did. You got a good weekend plan? Not me. We're staying inside. It's going to be like 31 degrees tonight. We have a freeze warning tonight. I will not leave the house.
I need a boost. I need a daily boost. I need a daily boost.
It is the Daily Boost. How you doing? It's me, Scott Smith. I hope you had a great week. Yeah, it gets cold here. I live in the city called Port Orange, Florida. You may have driven past it. You've been on 95 down here. It's just a little bit south of Daytona Beach, and we kind of live and breathe in the entire area. And when it gets in at 31 degrees, that's cold stuff. Man, that's like no flip-flop weather. Although a lot of y'all retire down here. You come from the north and you come down here and you've worn business clothes your entire life. It doesn't matter how cold it gets here. You are not taking off those flip-flops, are you? You're just not going to. Now, I've been here a long time. I wear socks sometimes too. All right. A show today that's a little bit different. Take a little bit of host privilege here, if I may. And also, I feel like I owe this to you because I had a listener from Brazil send me a note the other day. I said, "God, what are you doing, man? You're all over the place. Can I call you and talk you through this?" I'm like, "Oh, look, a coach is calling me. It's awesome." I said, "Well, yeah, but it's on purpose. I'm all over the place trying to figure some stuff out here." So I thought I would explain my mindset for the last few days and where I've been heading here and what I've been trying to do and why I've been doing it and where we end up maybe Monday morning. Is that fair? Now, if it's your first time here, I'm sorry. This is just kind of an inside show. If you've been trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing for a couple of days now, where's my head? I'll do the best I can to explain today. So this is season number 20 of the Daily Boost podcast. Doing it a long time, and I am known for these short things. It's what I do, right? It's pretty cool, but I've done it a long time. But if I'm really being honest, toward the end of last year, you guys got really quiet. I think you got busy with AI and everything else, and you just kind of stopped giving feedback. And I kept kind of showing up. Now, I understand you got a life. I'm not asking you to give me feedback at all. But at the same time, it does help to figure out what's going on and how I can best serve you. So if you're wired like I am, wanting to help people and wanting to be creative about it and go really deep and philosophical with you, it helps to know what the feedback is. And we just weren't getting that. So I think the first thing you began to see with me back in November was I said, well, let's change the theme music. Let's try something new. And I did and put it out there. And man, crickets, I heard nothing. Now, I know it was holiday season, but I heard nothing. Nobody said, yay, nay, hate it, love it, whatever. It was kind of weird. I said, this is kind of odd, man. Not a word. So that kind of went on for a while. And I'm getting through the holiday season, kind of doing my thing, and then decided to get into the new year. And I went, well, where'd they go? Interesting. And I could see my downloads. You're still downloading. You're still there. But crickets, man. And so since I'm so interactive with you and you guys feed me as much as I feed you, I got to tell you, that didn't feel good. I didn't like it. Like, what the heck's happening here? So when Scott doesn't like something, what does Scott do? Well, Scott explores the possibilities and I blow stuff up. Now, fortunately, I didn't blow this up. I just kind of messed with it a little bit. And what I mean by that, I said, well, let's go shake it a little bit. Let's see if there's nuts in the trees that we can just shake out of there. Let's see if we can do that. And so I kind of started exploring that, and I did that. And that's when I first came out and I said, hey, tell me what you think about the theme song. And I got a little bit of response on that, not a whole lot. And I don't expect a lot, because what happens is when you send me an email or you send me a comment, you're nice to me. Yeah, you just don't want to hurt my feelings, and you don't want to be honest with me, and you just want to be nice, and you have my best interest in mind. I get it, but I'm still looking for real feedback, so I wasn't getting much. So finally, as I walked in here and I said, "Well, what the hell? I feel frisky. I feel like I want to do something else, long form stuff. I feel like I want to stretch a little bit. I really want to." And what did you all say? Great, man. I love what you're going to do. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm thinking, I don't think they mean that, but that's what they're saying. But okay. So what I do yesterday, I dropped a 27-minute Daily Boost podcast. And I immediately heard about that one. It took no time at all. And I listened to it like 3 times. It's a good show. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not what we normally do. And to be honest with you, it wasn't what I want to do in the future either. It was kind of the first shot at it. And so that happened yesterday. And I'm kicking around a little bit, but then I said, okay, let me figure this stuff out. Because then you went quiet again. You all disappeared again. So, okay, let's figure this stuff out. I always do. I figure stuff out, right? And so I went in, I said, well, let me read the comments again. As I explore the possibility, I said, let me really read these things and really read what people said. Almost 400 people, just because I suddenly just called out for it. 400 people either on Facebook or Instagram or send me emails. 400 individual comments. I said, well, let me go back and read this. Let me find the gems. Let me find the hidden thread. Let me explore that possibility. This is something I found. Now, you have to understand me, and maybe you do, but you have to understand I really care. I really care a lot about you. I care about what we're doing here. And yet I have no expectation. I just don't do that. I don't expect that you will do anything. I just do my thing, and I hope I help. And yeah, I hope I help. And maybe someday, 10 years down the road, you'll say, man, I listened to you in a bad time, and it was great. Thank you. And I hear that from time to time. But I have no expectation of what I do. But as I went through the comments, I started seeing something. I started seeing people saying, I have, 10 years, a couple thousand of your episodes on my phone, on my computer. I've archived every one you've done in the past 15 years since I got to know you. And I have a journal, and I take what you say, and I have this whole book of Scott where I wrote down this stuff. And I saw that again and again and again. And people are saying, when I have a day that I feel like I need to brush up on something, or I need my own boost.
You have one new message. Translating. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers is now available on Disney+.
You could say that again.
Critics are calling it Pixar's funniest movie ever and a wildly entertaining ride. Blizzard Potato. It's certified fresh and verified hot.
Now we party.
This is incredible!
Wow, I am clearing the rest of the day.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, now available on Disney+. Rated PG.
I go back to one of the episodes, one of my favorites. I marked as a favorite. I listened to it. I go back and read my journal and just pulled out the things I pulled out of your podcast over the years. Guys, I got to tell you, it might sound really naive, but I really had no idea you did that. I didn't think that way. I just show up and do my show. I do what I do. Of course, it made sense to me as soon as I started hearing that, but it was loud and clear what was happening. And so I was stretching a show out, trying to make it, kind of a little bit different. And by the way, in this day and age of podcasting, there's a lot changing about distribution and the business of it and everything else. So there's a little pressure there to kind of stay current and stay relevant. But as I began to push creatively, which is normally what I will do, I will be like a little 5-year-old. I will act out. Don't look at me like that. I'm like, well, I'm going to figure it out, right? But when I saw those comments, And then I began to remember over the years of so many people. Right now I'm thinking of a gentleman who had a comment with me, and he said, "You have no idea how many times it's been 3:00 in the morning and I could not sleep because of what's going on. I got your podcast." And I remember that comment. So then I went and read all your comments that you had. Then I went back and I literally went back about, 15 years. I started reading. I save letters when I get these things. I save them. I hadn't had a bunch of new ones lately. And so I went back and read a bunch of old ones. I went, wow, look at this stuff. How cool. See, the dangers of doing a podcast sometimes, and I run a podcast-centric business. I get a lot, but the dangers of doing it is basically, imagine this. When you do a podcast, a lot of people don't think about this. It's one of the reasons I got out of radio, be honest with you. I got out of radio because my job in radio, while I entertained and did a lot of good stuff in radio over the years and did really well with it, the actual job is showing up in a padded room and be locked in the room for 4 hours while you talk to yourself and other people liked what you talked about. That's radio, right? And I got out of that because I hated being locked in a room for 4, 5, 6 hours and doing that. And what I found myself doing here in the past couple of months was I was sitting in a padded room studio in my home, talking to myself, talking into the wind. And it took me a little bit to recognize that, to figure out that, okay, what, because, I talk about do what makes your heart sing all the time. And when I'm doing something and I'm like, well, I'm doing what makes my heart sing, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. So again, I want to be very vulnerable and just honest with you about this because I've done this a long time. And I really kind of hit me today, reading the comments and thinking this through. I said, okay, I know what they need and I know what I do best and I know what I enjoy doing. And I've enjoyed doing this daily boost and I want to continue doing it as long as it's useful for you. I do. And what I've realized is, okay, what's always been is pretty good. It's worked okay. And maybe we should do more of that. And I also realized that maybe it's also time that not only do I do that, but it's also time that for the longer stuff, the more interesting stuff that I would like to do, the more creative stuff that I've had a yearning to do, that needs to be set aside someplace else. We can make it part of this, but it needs to be set aside separately. Maybe it's the weekend show I've talked about doing. Maybe the Daily Boost stays 9 or 10 minutes during the week, and then on the weekend, something else pops out where Scott kind of lets his hair down and has some fun. Maybe that's what we end up doing. I actually think that's what I should do. But I want to thank you for, allowing me to express this to you today and tell you that I felt like a hot mess trying to figure it all out. But it's funny how when you start exploring and you start putting it out there and you start getting people's feedback, and again, I want to circle back to something I say all the time. Was it Henry Ford that said it? If you ask people what they want, they would say, I want a faster horse. They wouldn't say, I want a Model T. Stephen Jobs, he would never ask anybody if they wanted an iPod. They'd no, I just need a bigger cassette tape or something, right? So when you ask people they're not really going to tell you what they want or what they need. Lots of times they will be nice to you. They'll be respectful. They'll be friendly. They'll be supportive. They'll give you some ideas. But typically it's very, very hard to glean out exactly what people you're talking to may want. And that's okay. That's not you. It's everybody. But I've learned that over time. And so fortunately, I was at least a little bit smart enough to dig in and read your comments again. Because buried deep down those comments, I found that fact that frankly, it's humbling. It really is humbling thinking that I am on millions of devices right now and that you guys are pulling it out and listening to it when you need it. And I just missed that. Maybe I forgot it. Maybe I lost that connection. I don't know what happened, but I got there. I got back. So here's what we're going to do. I think I already told you what I'm going to do. This show is, as of Monday morning, is going to sit right back where it sat for the last almost 20 years with minor variations along the way. I got a couple ideas to perk it up for you. They're going to make it fun for me to do and fun for you as well. We're going to take it back to 9 or 10 minutes. We're going to do that. And then, yes, I'm going to play on the weekend, and we're going to come up with some things on the weekend that will be very fun and very interesting and very exploratory for me. No promises on when, but that's coming. I think you're going to like it because I think you know how I think. I think that's where I'm happy. I think that's where I'm going to go right now. I kind of landed there. Is that okay with you? So do me a favor when you hear this show, because I know I've been figuring stuff out, and I do this all the time. I just figure if something's not working, let's all sit down there and, just, when I say not working, if it's not working for you, don't sit there and just take it. shake it till you figure out what's going on. So Monday morning, this show kind of returns to where it was. I'm excited about it, and I want to thank you for giving me the chance to kind of figure it out and your feedback and give me those little clues along the way about what you really need here and what is really working here. If I go back to my original theme music, this is the last time you hear this. Yeah, I like it, but you know what? That's okay. I like the other one too. So I hope that's okay. Send me a note. Hey, Scott Smith at Instagram. You can send it to scott@dailyboostpodcast.com. If you're on the Facebook page, just hit me up over there, dailyboostpodcast.com, over on Facebook. And have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday.